Hi, this is Karistina Lafae, here to explain why there's only a partial recording of the most recent session of Plugin School, Brainstorming. There was a technical issue where the recording stopped in the middle of class, and I had to start a new recording about 17 minutes before class ended. Unfortunately, there was an encoding error that made it impossible to recover the first part of the class. So I'm going to give you a brief summary of what we did in the beginning part of the session before transitioning to the last 17 minutes that did get recorded. I have to apologize for the technical error because we were having a great time in the whole class, and I wish I could share it with all of you. We'll have to revisit brainstorming plugins in the future so we can have a full recorded session. So, welcome to Plugin School, Brainstorming. My name is Karistina Lafae, and I'll be teaching the class. My co-host is Tomas, who helps me out every Monday during Plugin School. The purpose of this brainstorming class was to run demos of existing plugins that can assist you in brainstorming story ideas. We specifically looked at 7 different plugins, with links to each plugin available in the video description. There was Brainstorm Story Ideas by Nicole Broussard, Tentpole Outline Brainstormer by John Cresson, Plotforge Sensual Story Weaver by Apricot O'Brien, What Happens Next? Brainstorm Plot Points by Writing Tarsier, Brainstormer by John Cresson, Brainstormer Mixtral by John Cresson, and Character Quirks by me, Karistina Lafae. When selecting the plugins to demonstrate, I wasn't paying much attention to who the plugin authors were, but John was in class with us to explain some of the finer points of his different brainstorming plugins and how they're meant to work, so it turned out okay. We tested the Brainstorm Story Ideas plugin first. The plugin requires very little from the user to get started with, so I crowdsourced what we wanted to put in the brain dump and genre boxes within Story Bible. We had a lot of fun using Care Bears All Grown Up in the brain dump and a mashup of political horror, dark humor, and chick lit for the genre. A link to the output of the Brainstorm Story Ideas plugin and the rest of the plugins we demoed is available in the video description, so be sure to check that out. This story concept was also used to demonstrate Tentpole Outline Brainstormer and John's other Brainstormer plugins. The demonstration of the Plotforge Sensual Story Weaver plugin had us using Dead or Alive's 80s hit You Spin Me Right Round as the story seed, and most of the class participants were eager to test out the results using many different songs with the plugin. For the What Happens Next and Character Quirks plugin, we pulled in the details from a young adult urban fantasy story I'm working on called Power of Attorney, which involves an enchanted object causing a Freaky Friday switcheroo with non-binary teen Lou Morgan and their corporate lawyer father, Louis Morgan. The recording I do have picks up with the demo of Brainstormer Mixtral, so let's get to the recording. Sorry about the technical problems. Okay, there we go. The Brainstormer Mixtral, it's again another version of John's plugin, but this time it runs with Mixtral. We'll run it on the same exact text just so we can compare the two.
Good idea.
Here we go. Brainstormer Mixtral. This says, give me a list of political metaphors in the context of the Care Bears existential crisis. Context. The genre is political humor with political horror with a touch of dark humor, and the story revolves around the Care Bears being used as propaganda tools by a totalitarian government. Examples. The Care Bears are forced to wear rose-tinted glasses to mask their true emotions and maintain the illusion of happiness. These glasses can be compared to actual political propaganda or alternative facts, aka fake news. Cheer Bear is tasked with painting rainbows on the city walls, but secretly incorporates subliminal messages of rebellion into her art This can be linked to street artists who use their work to voice dissenting opinions against oppressive regimes. Grumpy Bear starts a resistance movement within the ranks of the Care Bears, organizing covert meetings under the pretense of birthday parties or group naps. I love that. Let's have a group nap, everybody. Instead, we're actually going to be, planning the resistance. This can be paralleled with real-life political activists who rely on secret gatherings and coded language to avoid detection. Bedtime Bear struggles with insomnia. Oh, as he tries to reconcile his true feelings with his duty as a Care Bear, leading him to stumble upon hidden documents revealing the truth behind their oppressive government. This can be likened to political whistleblowers who risk everything to expose government secrets and corruption. The Care Bear's magical powers gradually lose their effectiveness due to the constant demand for superficial happiness, symbolizing how sustained propaganda campaigns can eventually lead to public disillusionment and distrust in government narratives. Wow. Plugin got real there. That got so real.
So check the price.
Yes, let's check the price. So that was 72 credits compared to the 140 credits on the original Brainstormer that wasn't the Mixtral version. So they're both very lightweight when it comes to
the
credit
original is like
usage.
3.5, 16.
Yeah.
K, but it's twice as much as that one. And
yeah, but
it's
like,
fun to. The thing is, if you can run it, if it doesn't give you something that makes any sense to you, you run it again, and it'll
and
go
it's
somewhere
like,
completely different.
and you could just keep running it, and you could get so many ideas, and it would cost you so few credits to do, which is fantastic. And then I just had one more. This was one that I wrote in class a couple of weeks ago. We worked on it together. This is okay. You need to have at least one character in your characters box. So do we want to do this for a Care Bear, or do we want to pull out Lou from my Power of Attorney story? Now, I'm probably going to have to change this plugin because it is one that I wrote. I'll probably have to change it once the new character system becomes available. That's a whole other class we're going to have to teach once the new character thing is out of beta. I'm not using the beta for the purpose of this class, but it does exist. Let me just grab Lou's character description. So let me just remember how to, all you need to have is a character filled up. Okay, so I don't have to highlight anything to run this plugin. Character quirks is what it's called. Wow, that's a whole paragraph. So Lou Morgan, an 18-year-old non-binary individual, has a strong affinity for music that permeates their daily life. They often find themselves lost in thought while strumming on their guitar or beatboxing on their leg, creating melodies without even realizing it. Lou's distaste for their father's successful legal career is evident in their rebellious spirit, which includes a fondness for thrift store fashion that reflects their unique style. Their short dyed hair constantly falls into their eyes, forcing them to push it back with a hand gesture that has become a distinguishing physical tic. Lou's determination to forge their own path in life is only matched by their resourcefulness. They are skilled at navigating both urban and digital landscapes with ease. Despite their independent streak, Lou isn't afraid to stand up for what they believe in, often speaking their mind with honesty and conviction. So that plugin cost 18 credits to run. To get, I think the most oh, I'm looking for an adjective and I'm not finding it, and I can't think of a synonym. The detail that makes it the most personal, I think, was the distinguishing physical tic, with their hair constantly falling into their eyes, forcing them to push it back. Like, if anybody's watched Loki on Disney Plus, Loki is constantly like flipping his hair back out of his face. And it's one of those things that gives your characters, some real depth. You can review these plugin videos on my YouTube channel. I still haven't gotten last week's up, and I apologize for that. It completely slipped my mind. Yeah, that's so Loki. I'm gonna get last week's up today. That it wasn't an issue with me having problems making video available. I just thought I'd done it and I didn't. But yeah, that for 18 credits, we got a pretty decent character description, which the original description only mentioned, Lou Morgan, 18-year-old non-binary person with a passion for music and a distaste for the father's high-powered legal career. Lou is fiercely independent and creative with short dyed hair and a wardrobe full of thrift store finds. Lou's appearance is unique as their personality. They are determined, resourceful, and unafraid to stand up for what they believe in. So it not only gave me the pushing their hair back out of their face, misgendering my own character, I'm sorry. But we also have the strumming on the guitar, beatboxing on their leg, just music all the time. And yeah, character quirks. That way, you want to generate unique characters. And one of the things I specifically did for this was I did say to bring in a physical tic or habit to make them distinctive, because people relate to that pretty well, when there's something physical that a character does. So those are all the plugins that I had to demo when it comes to brainstorming. Like I said, it was very limited when I searched for brainstorm as to what came up. I thought there were more, but they don't apparently have the word brainstorm in them.
You could look for twist.
Yeah, I guess twist. Yeah, there are a lot more things when you search for twist. But a lot of them are spicy. There are some, non-spicy ones. Cliffhangers. This is probably a good one. I don't want to start demoing anything else because we're at time here. So we will.
But this is a great format, so maybe something for twist next time.
Yeah. That's an interesting thing to do. But for what we did review in class here with the plugins we demoed, there were some really interesting, like, I have no idea what kind of story I want to write. Tell me what I want to write, or tell me a story idea and I'll see if that's what I want to write. And then there was the one that generates the outline. If you have ideas for, your key scenes, your tent poles, and then you don't know what to do in the middle, then that'll help you get there. You know, spitballing some character quirks, stuff like that. But there are a lot of openings for brainstorming plugins to help people come up with new ideas. I suppose ideas is more generic, but we also have, you know, create series ideas. Okay, so not all of these are exactly what I was searching for here, like fixed grammar. That's not quite what we're looking to do here. Character detail generator, different couples, lots and lots of spicy stuff in here. We do have cozy mysteries, magical unstuckifier, create a story from tropes, story starters. Oh yeah, I forgot Michael's story starters. We should have demoed that. But there are a lot of genres that don't have anything specifically written for them. And while you can use like Nicole's plugin that we demoed first, where we got the whole idea for the Care Bears, you can use a plugin like that and it will do stuff. But if you have a favorite genre that you like to write in, there's plenty of room for genre specific brainstormers. Like you could do a cozy fantasy or you know, a mystery thriller brainstorming plugin, stuff like that, and it will give you specific ideas. It will help, you know.
So one of the things I found out with making not really translator plugins, but plugins that could be multilingual, the larger 4K or 32K brains and GPT-4 could handle doing output language as input language. So it would be an expensive plugin, but it would give you your output in the same language that you input. But if I wanted to do that with Mixtral, I had to create a specific plugin in Mixtral to do exactly that. And so if you want to make plugins in Mixtral, it is more likely to be successful if you are doing things like you just said. Be focused in the genre, be focused in the language if it's a language thing. But you kind of build it in Mixtral and you test it in Mixtral to see that it's giving you what you want. And it's just going to take a little more time to figure out what the exact wording might be. Yeah. You could also chat with Le Chat, which is the Mixtral online thing, to figure out how it talks and what it responds better to. Yeah. So I've been playing around with that, trying to figure out ways to prompt Mixtral to give me what I do want rather than some bland text.
Yeah. That's a good point about the different models and what their capabilities are. Like Mixtral, if you want like a laser focused kind of tool, it's a really cheap way to run a plugin if you know exactly what you want it to do for a very specific thing. And then, like you said, the GPT-4 can extrapolate more because it has the higher intelligence. But that's also a credit usage thing, and it really comes down to, do you want to write a new plugin for every different task you want to accomplish, or do you want one plugin that can do it all, or you know, all of a similar task? Obviously you're not going to be editing and, you know, spitballing ideas and brainstorming in the same plugin. But yeah, little tasks for Mixtral, and can have bigger tasks for GPT-4. And Claude 3's intelligence is really great too, but having some issues with how much input it can handle, not agreeing with what they claim it can do. But okay, so I think this was an interesting class where we got to go over different types of brainstorming plugins, see how much they cost, how they work, which ones you're going to probably only need to run once, and which ones, you can run multiple times. And I hope you have some ideas for, you know, I hope I helped you brainstorm ideas for new brainstorming plugins by seeing, what's out there and maybe what's not. And I believe next week we're doing Beats plugins. So I hope to see you next Monday for that. And for now, I'm going to stop the recording and thank you for all coming.